Do I still have to stick to policy? Sir, you must. Do I still have to stick to policy? Sir, you must stick to policy. You'll win it on the border. You'll win it with inflation. You'll win it with your great military that you built that they gave away $85 billion worth. Yesterday she got up, she started ranting and raving that Donald Trump wants to put a tax on gasoline, a tax on food. But they're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're gonna see something that's gonna be the worst in our history. Worst in our history. The worst in our history. Worst in our history. You don't mind if I go off teleprompter for a second? You see Brock Okoro. You don't mind if I go off teleprompter for a second? You see Barack Obama last night taking little shots. He was taking shots at your president. It's so meeker. You know they always say, sir, please stick to policy. Don't get first, stick to policy. Don't get personal and yet don't get personal and get personal all night long. These people do, I still have to stick to policy, sir. You must stick to policy, sir. You'll win it on the border. You'll win it with inflation. You'll win it with your great military that you built, that they gave away $1 billion worth yesterday. She got up, she started ranting and raving that Donald Trump wants to put a tax on gasoline, a tax on food. But they're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're gonna see something that's gonna be the worst in our history. The worst in our history. The worst in our history. Worst in our history. Worst history. The worst in our history.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
We're taking black jobs now. It could be 18. It could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Let's get this show started. All right. Once again, back in the Thunderdome. Show today, ladies and gentlemen, because Zeus has other things to do.
Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it.
And when you play the game, man, you better know your
options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy.
It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Time to show and prove, show you what I've been doing. They saying fools rush in, but I'm coming with a passion. I'm trying to get to know you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Here once again, back in the Thunderdome, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got a lot to get out and get on another day about.
The Golden State.
Hey, no tossing them,
turning on time for insomnia. I know the best way to make it is to cut the drama and give it my all and follow through with what I promise.
And even if I fail, at least I was honest. You gotta be honest, ladies and gentlemen.
To do what good is this power if I use it like a fool. If I wanna make it to the top, I gotta.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Or I can sit back and just watch the news.
All right, don't try to photocopy. You can never top me. I was born to be a winner. You could never stop me. All right, listen, I cannot do battling right now, but I can get to work. All right, so welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host. I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here. All right, but before I get into that, let's take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple HW Rick in the chat. Rick, you got a new profile picture, champ? Looking good. All right, keep up the great work. I go by the name Triple H. Zeus, aka Triple H, and people are saying, well, why do they call you Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest, right? The second H is because I'm humble, and then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you've guessed it, I am and will always remain. Greg, say it with me, the most handsome. Thank you, Linda. Good morning, Southern Delight. Nice to see you. And many of you know exactly why we are here, right, Tiffany? All right. What we are here to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to get the truth out here and to save this beautiful, great country of ours. All right. And so part of that means we have to tell the truth, even though it makes a lot of people feel very, very uncomfortable. All right. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I must say this. Do we have any Trump supporters out there? Please identify yourself. Hi, Veronica. Are there any Trump supporters out there? Please identify yourselves, all right? Because you might want to brace yourself, brace for impact, because we just keep catching you in a bunch of lies, all right? Oh, look at that. We have Greg out there, all right? Well, Greg, do us a huge favor, because you've been with me for quite a while, Greg. Good morning, Paula. Nice to see you. Greg, do me a huge favor. Tell your friends to leave this live and go on about their miserable morning, all right? Because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable, right? But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Mm-hmm.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of where I want to start today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, to my fellow Democrats, I'm convinced, and I was talking to a real good friend of mine. Spooky rhymes with Bookie. Spooky, come up here real quick if you don't mind. Send me a guest request. All right, Spooky. After I get done talking about you for a quick second. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to enact, especially I'm talking to my Democrat friends, agency, Department of Disinformation. You know, Elon did this Doge thing. We need a Department of Disinformation. And what this department, I think, should do is monitor all of the lies that keep coming out of this guy's mouth. All right? This guy is lying constantly. In the middle of our country facing some of the worst natural disasters. These are what I call acts of God. This man somehow, and this is why I think it wasn't just Russia. It wasn't a hoax. You got to look at what he's doing. You don't have to lie the way that this man does unless you're hiding something. And, you know, I thought about the 2016 election. I had a nightmare about it. And I said, you know what happened during the 2016 election? We all found out years later that he was committing a crime, hiding information from us. So I'm very confident, honestly, because a leopard never changes their spots, that this election, we're going to find out what the crimes were, you know, once the dust settles. And there's going to be a great awakening, a great reckoning in this country once the truth does come out. All right. And so I'm very, very confident of that. And that's why I say we need an agency, a Department of Disinformation. Right. But right now, the nation is going through a serious fire situation right now out here in the beautiful state of California. And instead of Donald Trump, you know, trying to be a president for all Americans, you know what he's doing? He's gaslighting his base. He's lying and spreading misinformation and disinformation at the expense of his own supporters. See, a lot of these Trump supporters, they think California is just a Democrat-ran state. You have no idea that there's a lot of you out here as well. There's a lot of MAGA Republicans out here. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of MAGA Republicans out here. And Donald Trump is literally throwing them under the bus. All right. He's not even doing anything to help them. You would have thought he would have opened up all of those properties that he's funneling money through. All right. You can go read it in the report, right? Attacking. You would have thought he would have allowed some of his loyal Trump supporters to, go stay at some of his properties. But he hasn't. He hasn't offered it yet. Instead, he's playing politics and lying to his base about what he thinks Gavin Newsom should or shouldn't do. No solutions, unlike President Biden and Kamala Harris. So what I'll do is this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start this show off by giving Donald J. Trump, the president-elect, the one who's going to lead this country off of a cliff, right? And send us straight into a 1929-style depression. Let's start off by giving him a huge round of booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Now, I want to take you back to a moment in history during the presidential debate, and Kamala Harris said something very profound, and this woke me up last night when I thought about what she said, and I want to get this on the record. Listen to what Kamala Harris said, all right?
In my career as a prosecutor, I was a DA, I was an attorney general, a United States senator, and now vice president. I've only had one client, the people. And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay?
Did you hear what Kamala Harris said? Let me play that again for you Trump supporters, you demons out there. Let me make sure you catch what she just said. Y'all gonna look back at what Kamala Harris was saying while she was campaigning against Trump, and you guys are gonna do exactly what you did when Hillary. Oh, Kamala Harris, she was right. That's what a lot of you Trump supporters don't understand. Listen to what she said.
As a prosecutor, I was a DA, I was an attorney general, a United States senator, and now vice president. I've only had one client, the people. And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay?
Any Trump supporters have a problem with what Kamala Harris just said? Does any Trump supporter out there have a problem with what the vice president of the United States just said? As far as I'm concerned, she's demonstrating what a real president should behave and act like. One client, are you okay? It doesn't matter if you're on the left or on the right. But I understand you MAGA demons. You guys are struggling. You're struggling because you're under a strong demonic force led by the MAGA demon, right? You guys are possessed with the MAGA demon. And I'll give you a good example. Listen to the cult leader, Donald J. Trump, yesterday after meeting with senators on the Hill, go out and force feed gruel to his supporters.
California, Mr. President, during the pandemic, you often said that you didn't believe that you should bail out blue states and you believe in this man. Given your criticism of Governor Gavin Newsom, are you willing to work with him, and do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the...
Okay, so he's talking about the smelt of fish, and he's conflating a lot of things that are making the Trump supporters all over the internet think all of a sudden they've gone to school and become environmentalists and geologists and things like that. And so I just want to get this on the record. This is a statement from Governor Gavin Newsom's press office. He says, Donald Trump is conflating two entirely unrelated things: the conveyance of water to Southern California and the supply from local storage. And again, there is no such document as the Water Restoration Declaration. This is pure fiction. Pure fiction like...
Insane asylums!
Yeah.
You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter.
Pure fiction like that. But yet you Trump supporters, you don't even question anything Donald J. Trump says. You literally get out here and believe it. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's give the Trump supporters a huge round of booze and shame. Let's send them straight to hell because obviously that's where they're going.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
So with that being said, I would encourage every single one of you Trump supporters to actually go look up what's really the issue out there. I'll say this, I'll add this as well. Broadly speaking, there is no water shortage in Southern California right now, despite Trump's claims that he would open some imaginary spigot. In terms of water reliability and water supply at this moment in Southern California, things are looking pretty solid, says Mike McNutt of the Las Virginias Municipal Water District, which serves 75,000 people in northwest Los Angeles County. Orange County Water District Chief Hydrologist Roy Herndon said his agency, which supplies groundwater to the north half of the county, has enough water supply to carry its 2.5 million customers through the worst of any potential droughts. Thank you, Joe Biden and the Democrats. This is the real information. The Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, which serves 19 million people, mostly with imported water, also has an abundance with a record 3.8 million acre feet of water in storage. This is according to Interim General Manager Devin Upay, who issued a statement last week that there is enough water to supply 40 million people for a year. Again, W Democrats. So what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I say we need an agency to combat this misinformation and this disinformation. We want to get the truth out here to each and every single one of you, because we know for the next 4 years, Donald J. Trump is going to literally lie his entire presidency. He's going to gaslight you like you wouldn't believe it. I'm still upset about this thing with Greenland, all right, and Panama and Canada. I'm very upset about that because according to MAGA, during the campaign, didn't they say, we don't want any new wars? Remember that lie? Yeah, it was a lie. Lie like a rug. Now all of a sudden, they want to go and do the whole manifest destiny thing. Oh yeah, we should use our military. We should have our children that are in the armed services go and fight new wars. You're all a bunch of liars and hypocrites. And that's why I got to do what I got to do. But it's not just me, ladies and gentlemen. There's also some other great people out there. I wanted to get this on the record as well. You know Jasmine Crockett. How many of you know who Jasmine Crockett is? So I was watching CNN yesterday because, that's something I like to do here and there. And this knucklehead, you know who he is, Scott Jennings. These are some of the most race-baiting individuals I've ever seen. Your Trump supporters love to say the Democrats are always bringing up race. No, it's not. And I figured it out. They've replaced the N-word with the word Democrat or DEI. And you should listen to the people on the right, ladies and gentlemen. When they use that, when they say DEI or they say Democrat, you got to look at them in their eyes and say, I know what you're really trying to say. And so as I'm analyzing what was happening on CNN yesterday, listen to how Scott Jennings stepped right into it. He didn't understand. The host is ran by a beautiful black woman, Abigail. Right? So the show is ran by a black woman. Stacey Plaskett is up there, Jasmine Crockett, and then there's others up there. These are powerful black women on the panel. And he has no clue that he's already outmatched. And in his moment of privilege, he said something, it was race baiting at best. It was race baiting, it was racist. And Jasmine Crockett lit him like a torch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen up.
Because also in California, you might have recall a news story from last year, there was some interest in the fire departments and the firefighters in California. And the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have BGI, we have budget cuts, and yet I'm wondering now, if your house was burning down, how much do you care what color the firefighters are?
You can respond, and I'm...
Listen, I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women. Ooh. So let me be clear. Because you are a woman, or because I know that some of the right has been sharing these photos of the fact that I believe that the fire chief may be a woman or something, that has nothing to do with it. We are looking at qualifications. What diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been about is saying, you know what? Open this up. Don't just look at the white men. Open it up and recognize that other people can be qualified. And the fact that we want to, at a time when people are dying, decide that a country of immigrants is failing or people are dying because the same very people that built this country, because the last time I checked, y'all didn't say that anything was wrong with the White House. And I can promise you, it was my ancestors that built the White House. So listen, if we have been good enough to build this country, we are good enough to serve and die overseas.
Amen.
We are good enough to serve in other ways. And the fact that people actually decide that they want to engage in public service, whether it's sitting in Congress or whether it's serving on the fire department or the police department, should not be an issue. The fact is, stop trying to act as if only white men are the ones that are capable. Because right now, you're sitting at a table with 3 very capable black women.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. Anybody got a problem with that? You know, I was actually thinking about it in a different angle, right? You know American history, ladies and gentlemen. How many, I got to say this to the people in the community, right? It's considering what you know about, like, the Tulsa, Oklahoma situation, do y'all feel safer? This is the question I got to ask. I got to ask it. Do any of you feel safe when a bunch of white guys come running towards you? Do any of you feel? Does it make you feel safer? I'm just curious. I don't got the answer, but does it? When you see a bunch of white guys coming, do you go, "Oh my gosh, relief is coming"? I just want to know what the temperature is, because I'm not trying to do any race baiting, but what Scott Jennings was suggesting, I had to go there and say, "Oh, so I should, let my defenses down." Is that what we're suggesting? Oh, look at all these no's. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do to Scott Jennings, because he's the race baiter of the year. He's, as far as I'm concerned, he's starting the year off race baiting his way because they don't know how to govern, right? They know they're about to jack up the prices on all of their supporters. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we got to give these Trump supporters, especially Scott Jennings, a huge, huge round of booze and shame. Because in his world, he believes everyone thinks when you're a bunch of white guys running towards you, that's a safety, you feel safer. That's what he believes in his world, but that's not how it is in the real world. So we're going to help Scott understand. Scott, you're possessed with the MAGA demon, and it got you believing stuff like that, which isn't really true. A lot of people, they're very apprehensive when they see that kind of energy coming at them, especially people of color. Let's give them a huge round of booze and shame. Thank you, Jasmine.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So now that we got that information out there that Donald Trump is lying about the fires and that we really do have enough water out there, and we know that Scott Jennings and other MAGA demons out here are trying to make it about DEI instead of qualifications, and they're getting torn up, let's have some real authentic conversations, all right? And you know what I do on this show, all right? You know where I stand on all of the critical issues, so we don't need to go down that path. But what I want to do is really start to help out this country by getting some of these Trump supporters to get to a place of true repentance. Because a lot of you Trump supporters, you made a terrible mistake you elected this guy. Look at him. Look at this guy. Oh, Annette, please come on up here, Annette. If you don't mind, Annette, I don't bite. All right. But could you please come up here and explain what you mean? Go get a real job. And if you don't come up, Annette, what I do is I tell people, to my mods, I say, hey, put Annette in a straitjacket because she could be a Russian bot. And what we don't want happening on this show, Annette, is we do not want people like you spreading lies and misinformation. So, Annette, I'm going to send you one more guest request. All right. But if you don't accept it, to hell you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Annette clearly is full of the MAGA demon. She's possessed, just like all the others. All right. So, Annette, do me a huge favor. Sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast. You just might learn something. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to go ahead and warm it up for you, Annette. All right. Somebody done lied to you and got you out here believing that you actually know what you're talking about, and you really don't. But hopefully when I purge this MAGA demon from you, Annette, you'll get on the right side of history. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send her straight to hell. Goodbye, Annette.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Yeah, and listen, I see a lot of the Trump supporters are still triggered in my chat. You're more than welcome to send Big Zeus a guest request and come on up here and try to push back on anything you believe I might have gotten wrong. I'll let you say it, all right? I really will, but I'll tell you how this show works 100 times out of 100. You're wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do to the Trump supporters.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Bingo. Yeah, MAGA does represent hate. They represent evil. They represent hypocrisy. The biggest thing is hypocrisy, right? It's like I say, every single MAGA accusation is a MAGA confession. Like this guy right here, I call it Fool-Aid. Drink the Fool-Aid. He says Dems support, Diddy. But he has no energy for that Lolita Express situation, where his cult leader was riding around with Jeffrey E. That's his best friend, right? What do you got to say about that? Drink the Fool-Aid. Explain that, Katie Johnson. Drink the Fool-Aid. You want to explain that? Come on up here if you don't mind. Oh, you can't even come up in the box. All right, I was going to actually have a conversation with you. Listen, if you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat or send a guest request. I'll bring you right up. And we'll take care of you, all right? We'll lower your taxes. We will drill, baby, drill, all right? Like you wouldn't believe it, all right? Good morning. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Pete, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, son. How you doing?
Well, first of all, sir, you're not my father, all right? So
That was a term of
you want
endearment. I know.
Oh, knock it. No.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Well, thank you for letting me know you voted for Donald Trump. Fair enough. All right, but honestly, you couldn't be my father because you just don't have the features. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to say that, I wasn't hurt by it, but look how handsome I am, Pete. Now,
I disagree.
you couldn't compete. You couldn't pass these kind of jeans down. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's why I said you don't want to start off.
You wear tight jeans. You wear them tight jeans?
No, I wasn't talking about those jeans, Pete.
I know, man. I'm joking.
I know. Okay, fair enough. I know. I knew you were joking, and it was a terrible joke, so I went back to being serious. You just got to be able to keep up, Pete. All right.
I am, man.
All right. Fair enough. Now let's get past that. All right. Tell me about that dark, dangerous day in history when you went to the voting booth and voted for Donald Trump this time. Especially in light of all the facts that you had prior to it. What was going on in your mind?
Yeah, sure. I like his America First agenda. And really, you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to when I get to go down and vacation in the Gulf of America. How about you? You go on vacation down in the Gulf of America?
No, because that doesn't exist.
You don't like that?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't exist, right?
Does that trigger you though?
Why would it trigger me? Where is the
Do you
Gulf
like the
of?
idea? Do you like the idea?
What's the plan? I've never heard of the Gulf of America, so could you please educate us on what that is? Because I know about the Gulf of Mexico, but this Gulf of America thing, it's like some Earth 2 stuff that doesn't exist. So I don't put any energy into stuff that doesn't actually exist. Has he passed any?
You know about the concept though, right? I mean, I know you're knowledgeable on what he has said about it.
Yeah, but again, he lies so many times. I honestly can't keep up with it like you do. I want to see the paperwork. I want to see the paperwork that he's filed to make whatever it is he's talking about a reality. Because outside of that,
I do too.
Right,
I do too. I'm ready for it.
Has he filed any paperwork?
Well, he's not president yet now, is he?
Man, y'all got every excuse in the book.
It's a real thing. Has he been inaugurated yet?
Okay, so I'll be honest with you. He's not president.
Thank you.
Okay, but why was he talking? Why was he talking to the Supreme Court yesterday if he's not president yet?
He's president-elect, so he has the leniency to do that.
Oh, but he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be doing it. He tried to mask it as
ruffle your feathers?
Oh no.
You brought it up. It must ruffle your feathers.
Sir, I just brought it up because you were trying to make the claim that he's not president yet. And so I got the
It's not a
idea
claim,
that
it's a fact, isn't it?
right, but why did you bring that up?
Well, because you were asking about paperwork.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you were basically insinuating, right, that you know, unless he's president, he can't change the name to the Gulf of America, right? And so I wanted to stick to that theme and basically say he doesn't have to be president, right? He could do whatever he wants to do, obviously, if it's a priority. And
Well,
you
now,
know
you and I
that.
both know that's not true.
No. He doesn't care about the rule of law. What's stopping
Oh,
this
there you
guy?
go. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, what's stopping him from obeying the laws at this point? He has presidential immunity. He's getting away scot free, except for what we know is going to happen tomorrow, hopefully in the state of New York. Donald Trump doesn't care
They've
about
already said what's going to happen. You don't know that?
what's going to happen.
He's not even going to get probation.
Oh, we know that, but why is he fighting it so hard? Why does he want the conviction to stick?
Well, because it's nonsense, first of all.
Is that
But
okay?
we don't need to get into all that. That's a whole other case.
Yeah.
We don't
And,
need to get into
and
all
so,
that.
so
Might
Pete,
hurt
what
your
part of the
feelings.
country? What part of the country are you calling in from, Pete? Because I can already tell you're coming from a place of victimhood.
Oh, am I?
Mm-hmm.
What's your highest level of education?
Oh, way higher than you. I have an education you wouldn't
You think
believe.
so? What's your
Yeah.
highest level of education?
Well, listen. Think of the highest level, and then see Zeus right there. All right, and trust me,
It's a simple question, man. Come on.
right. But you didn't
Well,
answer
you
my
can't give me
question.
the respect that. What's your question? I'll answer yours. You answer mine.
I asked you what part of the country
Oh,
you
I'm
were
from
from.
Louisiana.
Oh,
I'm from
okay,
Louisiana.
all right. Shout out. I could tell. I could tell.
So, what is your highest level of education?
Let's just say I'm educated. All right. Let's just say the highest level you could possibly get. All right. I'm right up there or close. All right.
Man, that's a
I can promise you.
simple question to answer. What's your highest level of education?
Listen, I would answer it, but again, it wouldn't matter at this point. I'm really focusing on you, Pete. People have listened to my show for years, all
Wow,
right?
you can't
And
even say
they
your
know,
highest level of education. That's pretty
and,
sad.
well, what's yours?
I have a master's degree,
In what?
a master's of arts in teaching.
Oh, 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 okay. Well, listen, congratulations.
Now that I've shared mine, how about you share yours, Zeus?
Well,
What's your
well,
highest level of education,
let's
Zeus?
just say I have a master's too. All right, and
Let's just say that, or is
yeah,
that a fact?
that's a fact. That's a fact.
What's
So
your master's?
that's a fact that I
What's your
would love to
master's in?
share it with you, but I would embarrass you.
What's your master's in? I mean, be proud of what you've done.
I am proud, but
Then
this is
what is your master's in? You can't
if
say
I
that.
if I tell you what it is, then will you believe every single thing that I say?
Not necessarily,
Oh
but
well,
I'll
then
believe you if
okay,
you say
because
that's your master's.
okay, so let's say Zeus has a master's in public administration. Then what?
Public administration.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does that tell you about Zeus? That means
That you're educated.
that means you are a teacher. You went to college to learn how to be a teacher, correct?
I did. Yep.
Yeah. And so you have no idea about how public administration works. You don't know the difference between the public sector and the private sector. You don't know anything about
I do actually.
You don't know anything about
I
new
do
public
actually.
policy. You don't know anything
I do
about
actually.
Woodrow Wilson and what his contributions were. Because if you
Woodrow
did,
Wilson. Boy, you're going way back.
Yeah. Because if you really understood how government works, then you would have to also understand you put somebody in office that doesn't really know how to govern. He's a
know
great
anything about
entertainer. He's a great
You ever been an
entertainer.
educator? You ever been an educator?
See, this is what I'm saying, Pete.
I'm asking you. You asked me. I'm asking you. You ever been an educator?
What was I? I'm doing education right now.
Oh, son, you're definitely not doing education right
I'm
now.
educating you.
Have you ever been an educator?
I'm educating you, Pete.
And I'm about to educate you. Have you
Well,
ever
say
been
it.
an educator?
Say what you're trying to say, and then I'll let you know if you're educating.
I'm asking you. Have you ever been an educator?
Pete.
It's a simple question. Yes or no. God
Pete,
damn, boy.
Pete,
What?
Just get it out.
The point I'm trying to make is that you're acting like you're all almighty with your degree, when there are other degrees you don't know shit about either.
Wait. Now keep
Correct?
it clean. We don't curse on the show. I have my mom and my family listening to it. Pete,
I'm
you don't got
sorry
it.
about that.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry
And
about that.
you're being. I think you're being respectful, and I think what's happening here, Pete, is you've ran across a handsome brother on
Oh, I
TikTok.
disagree with that. You look kind of jacked up.
Listen. You ran across a handsome brother like Zeus on TikTok, and you're wondering how real is it, right? You're checking. Yeah, is this real? I get it, and I gotta tell you, Pete, it's 100% real, bro. You ran
Take your
across
hat
one.
off. Let me see what that
You
dome
ran
looks like.
across one of those ones.
Take your hat off. Let me see what that dome looks like. So I give you a full evaluation of what I think of your looks.
Okay, so
Come
turn
on,
your.
take your hat off.
Hold
Let
on.
me see your dome.
You don't have camera access. So listen up, Pete. I
I
got
don't.
some.
This is my new account. I got
Pete,
banned a
I've been
million
okay.
times.
So Pete, I've been hit on by men like you several times. It doesn't
Oh
work.
man, I
You
don't
won't
swing
be
that
listen.
way.
You won't be able to do anything with my dome. Relax. All right, relax. I'm here
Why
talking
can't you
about
take your hat off?
Pete. I don't want to do this, but you're
Does
getting
that hurt your
distracted.
feelings? Come
No,
on, man.
you're getting distracted, and I get my
Zeus,
handsomeness is overwhelming you.
Zeus,
All
you
right,
talking about
but
how handsome you are. Let's see that dome of yours.
ladies and gentlemen, obviously Pete is cooked. He doesn't even want to
Cook.
talk politics. He wants to get on a he wants to have a date with Big Zeus.
Sir, you're the
Pete,
one that's
Pete,
been
Pete,
talking about
Pete,
your looks. Hold
Pete,
on now. You're the
Pete,
one that's
Pete. I
brought up
gotta
your
move
looks,
on,
haven't you?
bro. Pete, I gotta
Multiple
move on.
times.
Pete, I
I
gotta
know
move
because you're
on.
getting cooked. You don't want to take that hat off because you're bald as hell.
Pete,
That bald spot, boss.
Pete,
You don't
Pete,
want to. You talking about your looks? Who brought up your looks?
Pete, do
Who? Oh,
better.
just answer that. Can you
He
answer
can't.
that,
He
Zeus?
can't even talk politics
Zeus,
anymore. He's
I
caught up by
can.
my
We can talk
handsomeness.
politics.
Ladies
We
and
can talk
gentlemen, you know what
politics.
I'm gonna do, Pete. Unfortunately, this conversation is way above you. I'm above you in all areas, right? Education wise, handsomeness, content, cleverness. In terms of my jokes are better than yours too, Pete. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete is possessed with the MAGA demon, and when he gets cornered, what does he want to do? Look at my dome, Pete. You're sick. Hopefully, me purging this demon out of you gets you some help. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send Pete straight into hell. Let's send him to the lake of fire. It's some weird stuff.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Is there any more Trump supporters out there that actually has the ability to stay on topic and not get caught up into who Zeus is and stuff like that? Because that's some sick stuff. Who's that? The guy that said Democrats on the food aid? Where's that guess at? Do you see what I'm talking about? That's someone you got to look at. That's somebody you have to look at. All right, listen. If you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right on up here, and we'll help you get answers to these questions. All right. Obviously, Pete, he's from Louisiana, and he regrets voting for Donald J. Trump, and he knows it. And so now all he wants to do is get to know Big Zeus. Unfortunately, Pete, you won't be able to get to know me, but you can sit your special behind down and listen to this broadcast. All right. And by the way, say thank you to President Biden for saving this great country of ours. All right. Let me bring up the next panelist. Oh, Lisa, you want to come up here, Lisa? Lisa, I can't send you a guest request, but maybe you can send a request. Send me a guest request, Lisa. I'll bring you right up. All right. All right, please come on up. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter and you want to come up here and get answers and get out of the cult. All right. Oh, look at this person. Biden is letting Cali burn. Clay, come on up here, Clay. Please bring evidence of that. I would love it. I would love it if, Clay, you could produce any evidence that Biden is doing what you just said he's doing. All right. Who is this? Let me see. Who do we have here? Who is this? Who is this? Spiritual. Good morning.
What's up, man?
What's going on? You voted for Trump?
No, I did not vote for Trump, but but
Oh,
but
oh,
but
but
but I but I but I do understand the MAGA perspective. So I'm going to ask you a question.
well, why would we need to go down that rabbit hole together? I mean, don't you think you
Because
should don't you think it's better to let the Trump supporters speak on their own behalf? I mean, I'm confused.
but you're trying to understand the MAGA perspective, aren't you? Are you not?
No, I'm trying to cast out demons. You see what I'm doing, right? Because they
I do,
because they
and
can't.
And I
They
swear I'm not against that. I'm not against you doing that. But I have a
okay.
question.
Thank you. Fair enough. Well, what's the question? I mean, maybe you could ask MAGA the question because you know where I stand.
So what is your perspective on MAGA?
They got it's a strong demonic evil force going on in this country. And if you look at what's happened since Trump won the election, you know, as soon as the ball dropped, we had terrorist attack, T attacks. I gotta keep it clean, right? We had the T attack out there in Louisiana. We had the Colorado situation. I mean, not Colorado, but Las Vegas situation at Trump Tower. We got fires burning in this country right now, and you're going, when are we going to catch a break with this situation? And while all of this is going on, it's been a bunch of lies. The T attack, he demonized immigrants, right? You remember that? There's consequences for this kind of stuff. This is the leader of our country demonizing and lying about stuff that we all know isn't true. The fire situation, he's gaslighting his base. He's got us focusing on things like Greenland and Panama and the Gulf. I mean, there's so much confusion. There's so much incompetence. I'm saying, how are we going to be able to govern for 4 years with all of this confusion going on?
Yeah, I'm confused on the put America first
Tell him.
idea, and then talking about Greenland.
Explain why you're I mean, and you know God is not the author of confusion, correct?
Yeah, so I'm confused on what Greenland has to do with putting America first. I don't.
To be honest, it has nothing to do with putting America first. This is all welcome to Donald Trump's circus. And you know it's a circus.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, but you don't need to let this evil spirit infiltrate your soul, right? And so that's why it's very important we address it and call it out in real time, all right? Because he literally wakes up, I'm convinced, he literally wakes up and thinks about what the next scheme is. You know, because there's people out here that live like that, right?
Do you think it's more of a, not necessarily this idea that he's going to help anybody? Do you think they're more just, it's more the way he talks that got them riled up into this idea that he's something exciting? Do you think that's more what it is?
It's who he is. It's years and years of practice of learning how to gaslight and get away with it. And he's at a apex. He's at a level with it where a lot of people, if you don't know what's happening, you're gonna get caught off guard and steamrolled, right?
Right.
So, you know, we've been through this exercise as a country, and if you look at what, you know, that guy Vladimir Putin does over there in the Kremlin, this is serious stuff that he's doing.
No,
And if you do not have the mental fortitude to look at this and go, oh, okay, let me go ahead and purge all of that disinformation and misinformation out with some real truth, then you're going to be done. You're going to get cooked.
All right, my last question, brother, and then I'm going to get out your face, all right?
Fair enough.
Why is Trump Epstein relationship seem to be okay? You see the persecution of anybody else, it seems like it was pretty much the primary weapon of what was used to destroy them. Is that just me that saw that, or was that? I mean, I think that's a fair statement too. It's not like that's being biased. That's actually a real statement.
I would love it if we could get an honest Trump supporter to come up here and answer that one, because that's deep right there, bro. Yeah.
I mean, that was real though. That wasn't me being biased either. I saw this with my own eyes. And I'm not necessarily somebody who has any hatred or animosity towards Trump or any other president who's come before him.
Yeah.
But I saw that. I saw that the images of P. Diddy and Epstein was used as a weapon.
Yeah.
It's not really seen to be used as a weapon towards Trump though, for some reason.
That's crazy. That's
And
crazy.
that's true though. That's not like I'm making that up.
No. These people, I was in a live a couple of days ago, and the E. Jean Carroll case came up, right? And they, at the top of their voices, Zeus, don't you ever say Trump is a rapist ever, or I'm gonna, you know.
Right.
And I had to think, like, why are you so defensive of him at that for being that, right?
Right.
Because all the other things he's done, that's out there. But something about him being that makes his supporters very upset. And so you go and you look at the facts behind the case, right? I'm not an expert, but I'm like, it was a jury. They came to a conclusion based on the evidence. It's the same system brothers and sisters all over the country go through.
Right.
We don't get the results we want, but we got to live with it, right?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
happened to him. And there's multiple women that have actually validated what she is saying. It's not too different. And like you brought up the whole Jeffrey E thing, it's really not difficult to see that, yeah, that's what he did and that's what he is. It's not difficult for me to see it, but they'll die on that hill to defend him and say that that's not what he is. When you say to yourself, well, if you're going to do that, then what does that really say about you?
Right. Well, that's not a biased statement. I've seen other people get thrown in prison, and those pictures have been used on and on. And I actually see some of those pictures still online right now. And this brother's in prison, and they're still using the pictures.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Won't
yeah.
even bring. So,
Yeah,
all right,
well,
man.
hopefully we get some answers. Hopefully we get a real Trump supporter to come up here and explain how they can excuse his sins but prosecute others, especially
Right.
people of color. You know what I mean? I love
Right.
that. If they got a different way of explaining it that,
Right.
doesn't mean that they're racist and, misogynist, I would love to
No, it
hear
doesn't.
it.
It doesn't. It doesn't make them racist.
No, but I think that's what it is, but they try to act like it's not that. That's how a lot of
Okay.
people, they don't want to be no, they don't think you see them, and then when you call the demon out directly, then that's when the demon goes, "Oh, you see
Right.
me? Yeah, I
Right.
see you." And then they start doing that defensive stuff, But it doesn't work over here.
Right. All right, brother. Well, I'm gonna let you go, man. Good luck.
All right, all
All
right.
right.
Well, listen, good conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Spiritual. Thank you for coming up, champ. I
All right, brother.
appreciate you.
All right.
Spiritual Adam 727. That's awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen. See, as you can see, we can get the truth out one way or another. Listen, if you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right up, and we'll lower those taxes, and we will drill, baby, drill. All right. But you got to be willing. You got to be willing to be honest. All right, and don't get up here and start playing games and start trying to, Zeus, I want to get to know you. Because you can watch my videos and get to know me. That's it. That's the only thing you think about. You don't know, sir. What are you talking about? Come right on up here, Big D1. What exactly are you talking about? Is that all I know? Oh, why don't I zip it? Someone says, why don't you shut up? Hold on, Jan. Jan, come on up here. Jan, please come up here. If you could help, I would love to know why you believe that I need to zip it. What have I said that's wrong? I'm confused. Sir, Big D1, how are you? Come on up here. All right, Gina, I won't. Oh my God, the MAGA Wi-Fi is it's struggling. Hold on now. Hold on. D1, are you there? D1. Okay. Well, listen, D1. Oh, KF said I've been wrong about everything. How about this, D1? I'm going to drop you down, D1, because something's wrong. But you can come back up if your connection actually ends up working. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, KF. You said Big Zeus has been wrong about everything.
Yeah, you've been wrong about everything.
What part of the country are you in?
I'm from Michigan. Just came back from China.
Okay, W Michigan. How do we know you were in China? And what
Why don't you
picture is
look at
that?
my profile and everything? It shows,
Okay.
I was over there with Biden and all his crooked counterpartners.
So you are a Chinese operative?
No, I used to be a Democrat. But, so Biden stole all our money.
Oh, okay. So you think Biden is a criminal?
Yes, he is a criminal.
Yeah.
FXT money laundry. Come on, let's be serious.
All
Where
right.
did all the money go from FXT money laundry? Every Democrat got paid from it, right? Yes,
I don't
they
believe
did.
that.
You don't believe it?
No.
Dude, come on.
Is
Money
there a
laundering 101, they did it.
KF? You know the rules, right? We can't have
I know
misinformation.
the rules. It's the facts. We have the facts. We have the bank accounts, everything. Joe Biden has 23 businesses, 177 LSE accounts. and you say he does money laundering.
Would you be able to produce evidence of
Yes,
this?
we do. We have all the evidence.
Can you show us the green screen?
It's all on the grid, baby. It's
No.
bank accounts,
No, you have it.
everything.
You have the photos.
What
you
about
have,
Joe Biden said he never did
sir?
no business in Ukraine, and we
Sir.
have pictures of him
Sir.
in Ukraine.
Sir.
He said his bank accounts.
Sir, can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Zeus, we have all his bank accounts and everything.
Can you
The
hear me?
What about this? The Democrats had to make up a law to come after Trump.
So
Now we can come after the Democrats, Zeus.
So, ladies and gentlemen, all I've asked him to do is to show me a screenshot of all of this evidence. And instead of doing a simple thing like that, because it's on his phone, if he's been to China, then he has to have it on his phone. He wants to try to overtalk me. KF, I'm going to unmute you. Let's try this again. I get it. You're excited. Come on, hit unmute, KF. You can invite in 50 seconds. KF, please hit the unmute. I know
We
you
have the facts.
Okay.
We have everything. Okay, and that's what's wrong with you Democrats. You don't give a shit when we have proof and everything. But you want to go after Trump for everything. Now we go after you guys, and you're all running scared.
Okay, so KF, you're not going to have the conversation?
I'm having the conversation with you right now.
Well, why do you insist on just rambling?
Why do you insist on talking about fake, false information and ramble every day?
Okay, I got my note.
About the wildfires right now. Where's the water from the wildfires going to the pumps? Gavin Newsom shut them off. He's charged with murder. You're just a stupid little.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, KF was a waste of time. So, KF, I'm going to help you out. You're definitely a prime candidate for hell. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't see anything good about you. You get up here on TikTok and you spread lies. Yeah, and he was about this, and I think he did use some slurs. And so you want to break the community guidelines because you do not have the understanding or the education, the wisdom, the knowledge, expertise to actually back up any of the points you were supposedly trying to make. If Biden was a criminal, why didn't he get impeached? They were trying to impeach this man while they had control of the House, and they didn't. So that tells me, KF, you're not even following what's happening here in the United States, because guess what you're doing? You're too busy over there eating chocolate cake with President Xi in China. You're not American. As far as I'm concerned, you're a seditionist, treasonous traitor, KF. May you burn in hell. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send that previous guest, KF, straight to hell. Let's give him a huge, huge, huge round of booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
It's not a lie. Do your homework. Do your research, Music Man. Wait a second now, Music Man. You come up here real quick. Now that'll get you brought up to the box, Music Man. You think Zeus doesn't do his homework? So please bring the evidence that Joe Biden is a criminal right now, Music Man. You can't use the excuse that you guys like to use. Oh, I can't go into a Democrat live because they'll just talk over you and they'll mute you and then they'll kick you out. No, not over here. If anyone has information and evidence that President Biden is a criminal, by all means, bring it up. I'd love to see it, because then the first thing I got to ask is, well, why didn't James Comer actually take the evidence that Music Man and KF had, right? Wherever you went and got it on the internet. You were probably fishing in a mud hole. All right, a toxic one at that. Why didn't they just get that information and produce that to the American people? That would have been the easiest way to get him impeached and out of here. See, this is what I'm talking about. The lies at some point, they're going to have to stop. All right, because if not, then you know what's going to happen? You're going to end up, you know what they say, if you don't accept the truth, you end up getting smacked with it. You're going to end up getting smacked with the truth. A hard head, Music Man, makes for a soft behind. Go look it up. You make your bed, you got to lay in it. Go look it up. You reap what you sow, Music Man. If you want to get out here, because listen, there's universal powers at work. Quiet as it's kept. You might think that the president of the United States is the most powerful person in the country. While that may be true, they have no power compared to these universal laws that are at work, right? You reap what you sow, what goes around comes around. It doesn't matter who you is. You know, big upswings come big downswings. And if you all want to continue to believe this man right here and indulge him in his lies and his conspiracies, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you walk off the cliff. I'm going to let you walk off the cliff. Part of me, honestly, you know, they're passing things like the Lake and Riley Act, and we talked about it yesterday. And there's a part of me that says, you know, that law is terrible because I know, you know, they asked me, well, what did you get your degree in? I said public administration, right? So you understand how government works. I know how that law is not going to be applied correctly, and it's going to be weaponized, and it's going to rob a lot of people, especially American citizens, of their due process. I know that. And if I had the ability to stop it from actually getting passed, I would say, you know what, y'all got to redo this and come up with a better way to get the results you're trying to get without robbing people of their due process. That's what I would have said. But, you know, this is a democracy, and a majority of American people, they wanted Donald Trump in office to do that thing. So what other way can I help these people understand that that was a bad law than to actually say, you know what, let me get out of the way and let, you know, their cult leader do the harmful things he wants to do, to let him do it to them. What other way can we get it out and then help you folks understand, oh yeah, this man is bad news. He doesn't know how to govern. He knows how to entertain, but he doesn't know how to govern. You just run your mouth. Oh, Carlos, come up here. Carlos, please come up here. Carlos, please come up here. And I don't got all morning to do this, Carlos, please. If you're going to say something like that, I would love to know exactly why you made that statement.
All right, bro. Why is it that you're asking other people to provide evidence and you have no evidence of what you're talking about? Where's your proof?
Well, I do know what I'm talking about, right?
No, we don't want to hear what you're talking about. We want proof, dude. If
Right.
you're gonna say something and you want people to provide proof, then you should have proof also. I think that's fair.
Yeah. So earlier, I don't know if you were here, but at the very beginning of my show, I entered a bunch of evidence on the record. And I gave you information about the fact that California does have an abundance of water, and I gave you the source.
Right.
I don't know if you were here, but I did do that. I've also played an abundance of audio clips. Sometimes these clips are directly from your cult leader's mouth.
Zeus, let me ask
So
you.
when I do all of that, and we only got like 2 hours on the show, I would say, darn it, that's a pretty good thing, right? When you're able to actually say this stuff and then hit play and show pictures and stuff. And then I'll also invite guests up like you, and they
Right.
bring evidence.
Right.
So
Okay,
so that's why the burden is really on a lot of the Trump supporters, right?
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So about the fire in California. Well, I'm in California right now. I mean, I'm in Studio City.
Okay.
And last night there was a fire so close to my house. It's like I stand on top of my roof and I could see the fire. Okay. My question is, why did Karen Bass defund the fire department and turned off all the fire hydrants?
So she didn't.
Not only that,
she didn't defund it. I believe the word is there were budget cuts. So
right. So it's still defunding it.
So Carlos, this is why this is very important. Are you engaged? Are you working in the public sector or in the private sector?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You're in the public sector or private?
Public.
Okay. And in what capacity are you, I guess, a decision maker in terms of your department or organization's budget, or are you just an independent contributor?
I'm an independent contributor.
Okay, so you understand that every fiscal year or every period, they have to make decisions about the budget.
Right, I get that.
Based on the current priorities.
But why would you defund?
So they didn't defund. The funding was reduced by a few percentage points, right? And that funding
that's billions of dollars, millions of dollars.
Right, but nothing happens. Listen, nothing in a public sector. Those decisions do not happen without a lot of eyes authorizing it.
Okay,
You get
and
what
then
I mean? You know what I mean? She's
hear
not
you.
able to go in there and just with a stroke of a pen say, I'm cutting all this funding unless everybody is on the up and up about that.
Look, I get it, but what I'm
And
saying
where was
is,
the energy with the whole North Carolina and Florida situations? Those are natural disasters. See, what the issue here is, you and I both
Exactly.
know this is a wait, Carlos.
okay,
You and
go
I
for it.
both know this is a act of God. What's happening in California, and somewhere in your world, you've allowed Donald Trump to convince you that it was the
No, I haven't
Democrats.
allowed Donald Trump to do
So it's an
anything.
act of God, right?
So yeah,
Is it an
okay,
act of God?
it
So
is.
money
So
couldn't have
it's
fixed this. Money couldn't have prevented this.
but the fire hydrant. If the fire hydrant was on and they were active, that could have saved a lot of homes. Do you understand?
Okay, okay. Now, why weren't the fire hydrants on?
So
Let me read it to you because this is the evidence.
because of drought. They're saying it because of
Los
drought.
Angeles Department of Water and Power said that because of the high water demand, pump stations at lower elevations didn't have enough pressure to refill the tanks at higher elevations. And the ongoing fire hampered
That's
the
what they're
ability
saying,
of crews.
dude. That you don't know if that's true.
So,
Look, you can't
so,
go by what everybody's just lying,
So,
dude.
so wait,
Everybody is just
Carlos,
lying, and you know that, right?
Carlos, bro. This is coming from an authorized state agency. Who do you think has direct knowledge about this? You or the
Okay.
authorized agency?
Yeah, of
See,
course, they have the power and they have the right to say, "Hey, look, this
Carlos,
is the way it
man.
is. This is the way it is," but not necessarily the way it is. You understand? They're telling us the way it is. They're not actually telling us the way it really is. You understand? They can tell us whatever because they have the
Carlos,
power to do it.
Carlos. You work in a state agent or you work in the public sector. What
Yes.
you just said basically says you work for a place where you don't even trust the people you work for.
Not if they're going to be lying and
But
not
you
if.
take the money
What do you mean?
every month, every week,
I
whatever you
trust the
get.
fact that I am doing the right thing. I
And
can't
why?
speak for everybody
Okay,
else.
okay.
Like just
Oh,
like you
wow,
can't.
that's deep.
You
So
can't.
you
You
think
can't.
you're the only one working in the
No, I
public
said
sector?
I trust that I am doing the right thing. Everybody should trust that they're doing the right thing. You
Well, if
can't.
that's the case, then you should believe the LA Department of Water and Power. That's my whole point.
I'm not
That's why
saying I
people.
don't
That's why
believe.
That's why people work in government agencies because they have to follow the rules of the agencies. And if you
I
don't,
got
you
it.
know how it goes. You get in trouble and you're out. So
Exactly.
you're gonna try to tell me you're the only person in a government or state agency that's doing the right thing. Everybody else is wrong.
No, I'm not saying that,
Okay,
man.
then.
I'm
So
not
let's
saying that.
let's let's be honest, sir. If there's a situation happening in the world and there's a agency that's in that or been put in place to help address that, it's probably better you allow that agency to take the lead on getting information out to the American people about that, as opposed to some regular Joe Schmo who lives somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, so
Because guess what you at least can do? If there is a problem, you can assign liability to those agencies and at least sue them, right?
so what do you think they should do with Karen Bass because of the fact that she reduced funds from the fire department
She
and
didn't do
the fire
that.
has who did it?
It was a collective
It was a
effort.
community. Okay, yeah,
Okay,
right.
yeah, because you know how these budgets work in these public agencies. You
Right,
just can't have one person in there doing whatever they want.
but
So,
she's the one. It's just like if you're a supervisor and your
mhm.
worker do wrong, they're not gonna blame the worker. They're gonna blame you because you're the overseer of
No,
all of
no,
that
no,
shit.
no, 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 no. That's not how it
No,
works.
no,
If you're a
that's the way it
supervisor,
works.
listen, Carlos, are you a supervisor?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so let's just say something under your watch occurs. You first got to find out how it happened. So you're going to have to go to that employee, perhaps, that did something wrong, and then you'll start there. And if that employee did something wrong, they're going to get held accountable. And then the supervisor, let's just say that's what you are. If you approve something or did something that didn't catch it, then yeah, it's going to start coming towards you. And then it could go
Exactly.
all the way up, and then
That's
they'll lump all of you in there and say, this was what the issue was, this is where the failure was, and then this is what we've done to actually remedy it. That's why you need public organizations and public
right.
agencies, because you could do that. But if you're listening to random people who have no expertise, no knowledge of what they're saying, and they tell you to do something and it's wrong, who are you going to hold accountable?
Look, okay, so that's your job as a supervisor is to find out where the problem is, which one of your employee did the problem. But your boss is not going to want to hear that. Your boss is saying, you
It's
know
not
what,
even
I don't want to
about
hear
that
that.
though.
I don't want to hear that. It's your responsibility to make sure that you take care of all these little people. I have nothing to do with that. You report to me. So
Carlos,
you have to answer to me. And now Karen Bass has to answer for the stuff. I mean, she didn't even care.
I do
Wasn't
believe
even
in
there.
Carlos. I believe in transparency and accountability. And so
Exactly.
let's just say this:
Exactly.
if Karen
Exactly.
Bass, if she's got, obviously there's going to be a lot of people, not just her,
Right.
honestly, that are going to have to
Answer.
provide answers.
Right.
Isn't it better that you have someone that you can go to and hold them accountable for versus having someone you don't? Because
Of
what you're
course.
advocating for is let's not let Karen do anything. Let's go listen to these random people on the internet.
Dude, they were asking her questions. She couldn't even answer. She just stayed quiet. Like it was just like she knew that she screwed up. So
Okay,
I'm not gonna answer anything. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna
Carlos,
plead a fifth. I'm gonna plead a fifth, and I'm just gonna just disregard all the questions that's been thrown to me. This is just like what
Carlos,
this is just like what Kamala Harris did. They
Carlos. Let
asked
me.
her a question and she keep, well, today is tomorrow. If tomorrow was today, today will be tomorrow. I mean, dude, like just answer the questions. Dude. It's just that simple, man. Like we're asking questions because we're concerned. We're citizens. We're concerned. We're not trying to put in trick questions. We're just asking
Okay,
straight out
okay,
questions.
okay. So I'm glad that you said you had a problem with her.
Yeah, of course I do. I have a big
Basically, you're
problem.
saying we have a natural disaster, an act of God occurring, and because Karen Bass didn't give you information, maybe because it's too early to have that information, right? You're just saying she is a terrible leader. So let me give you
I'm not
another
saying she's a
example.
terrible leader.
But
I'm not saying she's a
okay,
terrible
okay,
leader.
okay.
I'm just
Well,
saying she should have at least just answered a few of the questions. Like,
okay.
you know
What if
what?
they were?
We
What if the
will.
answers she gave were wrong though? And she,
No, but then she should have just said, "Hey, you know what? I don't have that information right now. I will. I mean, respond. That's
But
my thing.
what?
Just
What?
respond.
But hypothetically, what if she gave you the wrong answers, but she was answering? What would your
Don't
reaction
answer.
have
That's
been?
what I'm saying. Don't answer the question. Just say, "Hey, you know what? Let me review this with my cabinet
But
or
what
with
if
my."
she would have given you misinformation? Hypothetically, what would your response then have been? At least I would have been like, at least she answered it.
She's responsible for what comes out of her mouth.
Okay, hold on, hold that thought. Let's listen up. Listen up. I want to give you another example of someone who did
Okay.
something just like this, and then I want your honest reaction.
All right.
So Phil, a question that probably some of you are thinking of if you're totally into that world, which I find to be very interesting. So supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a coating? Because you see it gets in the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see, but the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful.
So you heard Donald Trump
Yeah.
during the pandemic
Yes.
suggest that we should do things that honestly you and I both know would unalive you.
All right. I don't
Now,
think those
and
those
this is
weren't
him
like
as the president. This is the
right.
highest level of government.
Right.
You and I both know that's not that's not true what he was saying. That's going to actually harm you. So,
I understand that, but what
why but my question
it was
is
just a
you
suggestion. It wasn't like,
but you
hey, all you guys go out and do this
I
shit.
knew it.
You know what I mean? So
But Carlos, this is where I wanted you to see something. You have the ability to be super critical of Karen Bass, a black woman, a woman of color, but you literally, yeah. I
look,
didn't want to do that to you. I
don't
didn't
want to
want to
look.
do that
I
to
don't want to
you. I
look at
didn't.
her. Dude,
I didn't want to
I'm
do
mixed
that
race.
to
I'm
you,
mixed race, bro. I'm mixed race. So I'm just saying is I'm
Carlos.
not looking at her as a woman of color. I'm looking
Yes,
at
you are.
her as a person and her respond to what the questions were. These questions were
How about
asked
this? How about
to
this?
her, and she didn't
Oh,
respond to it. That's all I'm saying. I don't
how
care
about
about.
this?
Look, I don't care about colors, bro.
What?
College doesn't mean nothing to me. I'm looking at people as a person, as an individual. And if an individual is asked a question, just answer the question. And if you don't know, say, you know what? I don't know at this time. I will answer that question.
But you didn't
Maybe.
say that about what you didn't say that about Trump. You should have said when Trump said that, he should have not have said that. He should have said, "Listen, I
Exactly. He
don't
shouldn't
know."
have said that. I'm not
But you
saying he shouldn't have said that. I know he shouldn't have said that because he's not a professional person in that field to even answer that question.
let me ask the question this way then, Carlos. Would you rather him have said what he said, or would you rather him have done what Karen Bass did and not say a thing?
I would rather him saying something like, you
No,
know
no,
what?
no,
I will leave
no,
it to the
Carlos.
professionals.
Carlos, I
Yes.
only gave you two options.
Okay.
Would you rather him do what Karen Bass did and not say anything? Or would you rather him say what you heard him say? What do you think would be in the best interest of the American people?
I would rather him say something like, I don't know. I
But
would.
that wasn't an option,
Yeah,
remember.
but see, a response. What I'm saying is a little bit of response to the question would have been great.
But that's in a perfect world.
Donald Trump
Carlos,
said something.
Carlos.
Look, Donald Trump said something that he shouldn't have said. Yes, at the time. And
So to answer the question, you would have rather him stay silent and wait possibly until he got more information,
I
right?
can't say what I want him to say. He says what he wants to say. I can't. I have no control over that. But what I'm saying is, in
You,
regard, at least he said something. Yeah, he might have said something stupid, and it didn't make sense, right? But at least he said something. Karen Bass didn't say anything,
so
and that's what's
you would
concerning.
prefer,
It's
okay,
like
so Carlos, you're the type of person that you want your manager to lie to you as opposed to just saying nothing. You would prefer it that way.
no, I wouldn't prefer it that way.
Well,
I'm
that's what you're. That, to me, am I misunderstanding you, bro? Because to me, this question isn't difficult. I would honestly prefer someone zip their mouth and don't say anything until they get all the information. Because I believe,
right.
especially
Then just
someone
say
like
that.
Trump,
Just
I
say
believe
it.
someone like Trump, people listen to him very intently, and what he says matters. So to me,
What he says does matter, and because
yeah,
of,
but
you know why? You
I
know
don't want
why?
him spreading misinformation like that. So why
But
is it so difficult for you to say, you know what, Zeus, you're right. Karen Bass, even though I don't like that she didn't say anything, that's probably the best thing as opposed to her getting up here and saying other things that could get people unalived.
right, I get that. I get that. She didn't say anything, but at least should have said, "Hey, we will get back to these questions later."
Well,
I
that's your
don't have the
preference.
information. I don't at least say I don't have the information now. I will have a conference or something later on.
But you know what that makes me think when you go that far with it? It makes me go, why is he giving this woman such a hard time? But
I'm not giving her a hard time, man. I'm not
he's
giving her a hard
defending the
time.
heck out of Donald Trump, who clearly did something wrong. And the
When
only and
COVID started,
this is the only and again, COVID was way worse, if you ask
right,
me.
right. No, yeah.
At the height of that situation, he did the wrong thing, and you're still defending it. You have a less
I'm not
serious
defending it. Did you
situation.
hear what I said? Yeah, I'm not defending him. Sometimes
Yes, you are.
no, listen. Sometimes we all open our mouth and say the wrong things. At the time, we do. So, and he's not the only one that does it. We all do. We're humans. We do that shit. You've done it.
Well,
I've
keep
done
it
it.
clean.
We
Keep it
all
clean.
have done it.
We don't curse on. Got to keep it clean. But
All right,
Carlos, I don't know what else that I can say to you.
bro. All I'm
So what
saying
I'll
is,
ask is this: how
all
many
right,
people in the chat listening to this discussion, if you believe he's misogynist and racist, put a one in the chat.
dude. Why would you even go there?
Don't let me do what I do. Let me do what I
Oh, okay.
do.
All
I
right.
just because you're getting some DEI training, and this is the part of the show that a lot of people they don't appreciate, but they'll go back and they'll realize what I'm doing. You see
Right.
that? You see that?
Those are the radical left, bro.
That's
They're
over 300. And Carlos, normally it gets to about 100 or so. There's over 300 people
Right.
in here, almost 400
Right.
that have listened to this conversation, right?
Yeah.
And everyone is able to decipher things and listen to it and make their own conclusions on their own. I'm not asking these people to come to that conclusion. Do you kind of understand how a person may have arrived at that conclusion, listening to this conversation?
Look, dude. People do whatever they want to do. I have no control over what people do.
No, but you didn't answer my question.
I only have control over myself. And
Over 500 people.
It's fine. It's fine. That doesn't mean anything to me. Numbers are nothing, dude. Numbers are numbers. Just like age is nothing. It's how you feel. It's how you feel that matters. Age is just a number that they tag on things to make it seem like, whoa, this is a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Carlos, Carlos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an opportunity because I think I've brought this as far as I can. I like to give people an opportunity to get this right, and so I'm gonna reach out for a lifeline and bring up Brother Swervin. Hi, Swervin. How you doing, brother?
Good morning, my friend. How are you? And good morning to the rest of the kingdom and Mama Zeus.
Mama Zeus, yes. Have you been listening to this discussion?
Yeah, it's been weird to say the least.
What would you like to at least say first before I start asking questions? Because we're giving Carlos some real authentic feedback. He probably doesn't get this a lot in his life.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Just listening to the things he says, he defended Donald Trump. You know what? Let's not even go back to COVID and the light situation. Let's come up to more modern times.
Mm-hmm.
When he was asked about, he got asked, how are you going to help with childcare in this country? And he went off on a 6 or 7 minute tirade about tariffs and saying that we're going to be bringing in all this money from tariffs. And so now he supposedly is going to stand up this huge childcare program so people can have daycare for their children. But you know what? In his plans and his proposals and his 17 pages of policy, there was nothing in there about childcare. He has no plans to bring back the child tax credit for his taxes. But he goes off on these maniacal ramblings and people defend that, telling us that we took it out of context. Here's what he really meant. No, that's an AI clip, And it's funny, Carlos, you said you wanted proof. This is reading you an article, or he's reading you a statement directly from the Department of Water.
Yeah.
And now you're like, well, that's not proof. They can say whatever they want to say. That's proof. If the department puts it out, that's proof. But you know what's funny, Carlos? You didn't have any proof to refute that. All you did was, well, they can say what they want to say. And people believe what they tell them to believe. No, if you believe what people tell you to believe, and because we hear this all the time, the media has brainwashed you. The media has done this. No, if you're going to let the media or someone else brainwash you, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
Tells me you are weak-minded.
W Swerving in the chat. W Swerving in the chat. No lies detected.
All right. So I'm supposed to just listen to what you guys are saying, and none of you guys have showed me any proof of what you're saying. What proof?
Zeus, where did that news article?
Where's the clip? Show the clip.
It came from Governor Newsom's press office. You can go look it up.
So that's
do you want me to actually physically come to where you're at and show it to you and then read it to you?
Can you screenshot it?
No, see, here's the thing. Where's your proof to refute what he's saying?
I don't have. What I'm saying is, I'm not the one here that's supposed to be providing proof. You guys want everyone to provide. Look,
you made the claim, Carlos. You made the claim that what Zeus was telling you is not true. Okay. So now it is your burden of proof to prove him wrong.
Okay, I am not going to prove anybody wrong.
Because you can't. Just say you can't.
Well, no, it's not that I can't. It's just that you guys are. See, this is a two-way street here. So if you want people to provide proof to you, you have to be able to provide proof to them.
He just did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Saying it doesn't mean it's proof. I could say anything. That doesn't mean it's proof. People come up here and say stuff, and you guys are like, "Show me the proof."
Let me ask
go
you
for
this,
it.
Carlos. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that Donald Trump said you can just walk up to him and grab him by the hoo-ha? Do you believe he said that?
Look, I've never heard it. I've never heard it. You said it. I've never heard about it.
But do you believe Donald Trump said he has sex in common with his daughter? And if we
look. You're
but wait a
saying
minute. I'm
things
just
that
asking. I'm trying to see where you're.
I can't answer that because I don't know what you're talking about. I can't
Okay,
answer
Zeus,
that
can
because
you
I don't
play
know what
him
you're
that
talking
clip,
about.
please?
Okay, all right.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that. I can't.
Now that took place on the Wendy Williams show between an interview that Wendy Williams was doing with his daughter and him.
Okay.
Okay, so now that you've heard it,
You can take that as positive and you can take it as negative. It all depends on how the perception of that information is processed in your brain.
What kind of, and Zeus, please excuse my language. I don't know if this is a bad word or not. Depends on how you take it. But
go for it, man.
What kind of sick ass man would even let a thought like that go through their head about their own daughter?
Exactly.
So he said
I have a daughter, and
here you are defending it.
I'm not. I said I don't know anything about it.
He just played you the clip. You just heard
I know.
it.
I heard the clip.
Is it considered evidence in your world? What I just played, is that evidence?
Yes, that's evidence. That is evidence. What I'm saying is, you can take that information and process it in your brain in a positive way or in a negative way.
Wow, that. So now the evidence has to be processed.
Of course, everything has to be processed in your brain for you to even understand what's going on.
Zeus, can you see how any bit of that is positive?
No.
I don't understand how any bit.
So Carlos, how about this, Carlos?
Yeah,
you explain it to us how that's positive.
Okay. Maybe he could just say, "Hey, you know what? My daughter and we have the same mentality in regards to sex."
So he's thinking about his child engaged in intercourse yet again.
He's an adult. I'm sure.
Well, can I go one step further?
He's an adult.
Carlos, can I go? And again, let's not go too deep into this, but I want to put the thought out there. Okay. You know about him with Stormy Daniels, right?
Yeah.
He's cheated on all his wives. You know about that,
right?
You know he hung out with Jeffrey E.
We're man. We're all man. We all have done it somewhere somehow. Flirting, doing stuff. We all
hung out
for it, man. We're all guilty, man. Don't play that.
Do you know who Jeffrey E is? Do you know who Jeffrey E is?
No, I don't know who that guy is.
Epstein?
Oh yeah, Epstein. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we all haven't done that.
Right. No.
You done that?
No.
Oh, okay. You keep saying,
shit,
wait, keep it clean. Keep it clean. So,
sorry, bro.
But you said that they have the same mentality when it comes to sex. So knowing who he is, and you know about the E. Jean Carroll thing, right?
Yeah.
You know where his drive and his desires really are. They're in places they really shouldn't be.
That's what money does to you, man. Money does something to you. So money does something to you. Look at P. Diddy. All right, let's go to P. Diddy.
No.
You don't want to go there. No, you don't want to go there. You want to go to Epstein, but you don't want to go to
No. What we're trying to help you do is stop and realize you're wrong.
I'm not.
Why do you keep going deep? But you were trying to put a positive spin on it, but you're going negative. You're basically saying money makes you do bad things. Well, then obviously his statement wasn't, there's no positive way to look at it. Why was that so hard for you to admit? You know what? I got another one for you. Maybe you didn't hear this one. Maybe you didn't hear this.
All right, let me hear it.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
What did he just say?
Joke, dude. He's a New Yorker, bro. He jokes around. He's not. Come on, you guys are taking everything very seriously, bro. It's like you would look at your daughter and someone asked you, "Would you date someone as beautiful as your daughter?" And you said, "Yeah."
No,
so
that's not what he said.
All of a sudden, it's like, "Oh, I want to date my daughter." I mean, come on, bro.
Okay, so Zeus, this is what I was saying earlier. They explain it away, or they become the Trump whispers. But somebody really has to help me with this part, because I don't understand knowing where this man's desires are, but for some reason, because he's a New Yorker, it's okay for him to say these things. I
No,
mean, just
it's
because
not. I'm not
he's
saying
from New
that.
York,
I'm not
it's okay
saying that.
for him
I'm
to
saying
say,
they
no, no,
have a
no,
different.
hold
They
on,
have a
Carlos,
different.
Carlos.
All right, go for it, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Say
I
what you gotta say.
apologize if the middle of my sentence cut off the start of yours. That's my bad. Go ahead, because you obviously wanted to say something. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying the sense of humor is a little bit different from, you know, people down south, people in the coastal areas, the West Coast. Everyone has a different way of expressing themselves, and if you take someone could be in a room full of people and they make a joke and everybody's not on that same level, they're gonna
Would that
take
get
it.
you in trouble with HR?
It'll get you in trouble. Of course, it'll get you in trouble
Why?
because of the way. Look, if you go to someone that say they had a bad freaking day, man, just bad day, and you go and you crack a joke. I mean, and it's just a joke, like
So
innocent
it's
joke.
it's
It's just an
inappropriate.
innocent.
It's inappropriate, correct?
Well, they will see it that way because of
No,
the state of mind they're in.
Carlos.
They'll take the information and process it different because of the
I mean,
state of mind they're in.
this to me is just incredibly weird and strange. And I think, I could sit here and say, well, I'm from Gary, Indiana. That was the schmurder capital of the world 2 years in a row. So I'm supposed to be this way. You're sitting there blaming where the man is from for his nasty behavior. That's exactly what you did. And I know a lot of people in New
I
York.
don't think it was nasty behavior. It's just a
My
comment. It's
my
not a behavior. It was a comment.
excuse me. Again, Carlos. I'm sorry if the middle of my sentence cut off the start of yours. Do you have something you want to just keep interrupting me on?
Go for it, man. Go ahead.
Okay. I know people from New York. My stepdad of 28 years. He's from New York. May he rest in peace. He's never made jokes like that. He's never made inappropriate comments like that. Not in front of me, not in front of my mother, not in front of anyone that I know of. And he was born and raised in New York. So you can't sit here and say that, they're on a different playing field. Being in a bad mood has nothing to do with inappropriate behavior. Sometimes people commit inappropriate behavior because they're in a bad mood. Okay, so you can't sit here and just discount the things that he says and the lies that he tells.
W. Rick in the chat. Let's go.
And the crap that he wants to get us involved with next, let's take over Greenland. That's a good idea. Let's take back the Panama Canal. That's a great idea. And he's contemplating using military force to take back the Panama Canal.
Have you done it?
It doesn't matter why is he even talking about it?
Well,
These people are
look.
our allies. But Carlos, here's the problem.
Okay.
Y'all keep saying, has he done it?
Yeah.
We've seen this stuff in black and white. We've
Right.
seen his budget proposal in black and white. We've seen his tax plan in black and white.
That part.
And y'all keep saying, well, has he done it? No. We already know he hasn't done it.
Right.
But guess what he's going to do? It's
What?
already in black and white. It's already on the budget.
What is he going to do?
But y'all first of all, as a veteran, he wants to take $119 billion from the VA for health care. So that messes with my health care.
But budget cuts. Remember, Carlos, you were talking about Karen Bass and the budget cuts, and you know how you got on Karen Bass about the budget cuts. Where's the energy for Donald Trump and him doing that, causing harm?
He hasn't done it though, dude. See, that's the
You
thing.
keep
He hasn't
saying,
done
I don't
it.
think he'll do that.
He
But
hasn't done
in the
it,
same
dude.
breath,
He hasn't done anything yet. You guys,
but here's the problem, Carlos. Here's the problem.
Give him a chance and give him a chance to get in office and see what he does exactly.
In that same breath, y'all will sit there and say, well, he means what he said.
These people are in office that are doing.
I'm sorry,
wrong.
Zeus. Carlos,
you're doing it again. You're getting scared and you're just vomiting out all the things that come into your
I'm
head.
not scared, bro. Come on, man.
Carlos, I think, is lost in the sauce.
Well, okay, but
No,
Carlos,
I'm not lost in
honestly,
thought, bro.
Carlos, can you let's take a time out for a quick second and understand.
Right.
The reason we're at this point in the conversation was because you got up here and you got on Karen Bass, right? About
I didn't get on
what you
Karen Bass. I
perceived,
just
what
said
you
it ain't
no, about what you perceived was her ability to, what her incompetence in a way. Yeah. Now we're in a completely different area now because you basically said you would rather have a manager that lies to you. All right.
No, I didn't say that, bro. Come on, dude. I didn't say that.
So you would rather have a manager that doesn't say anything then, as opposed to one that lies to you. You're not giving us clear answers. You then made the argument that, Zeus, you're not giving us any evidence. Okay, fine. I cited the source. You said, no, could you screenshot it perhaps? And then we moved on to, let me give you an example of us giving you evidence. And we brought up some audio clips of Donald Trump saying very inappropriate things about his own daughter. Things that in the real world, the world you live in, the world that pays you, if you were to say those things, your behind would be canceled.
Right.
But yet, here we are watching you twist yourself into, what they call a pretzel. At what point does it stop? This is the issue. At what point do you realize you stepped way into this? You're in too deep, bro.
Okay, look, listen. Donald Trump is not even in office yet, bro. And you guys are already convicting him. Give the man a break, man. Everybody deserve a chance, bro. You deserve a chance.
He had a chance.
My boy Swiss. Swirl. He
Swirl?
What is that?
Says swerving.
Swerving, sorry, man. I wear glasses. I can't see really good. These letters are so small. But anyway, dude, let me tell you something, man. As far as giving a person a chance, I think everybody deserves a chance. I understand how you feel about.
Did you have that energy with Kamala Harris? Don't you think she deserved a chance?
Yes,
Trump already had a chance.
She does. Look, I'm not saying Kamala Harris didn't deserve.
She had. Wait, no.
She does. What I'm saying is, when you can't.
So were you one of those 45% of Hispanic men that voted for Donald Trump, Carlos?
Look, dude. It doesn't matter who I voted for.
It actually does.
My problem is being honest, dude. It's like, look, she goes up there and she can't even answer.
Carlos,
answer the question.
Carlos,
here's what I find very disingenuous about you right now.
All right,
this is what I find very disingenuous.
Because you know what? I need growth, bro. I need growth. So if you're
okay, good.
Let them give it to you. You can't get it.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Makes sense.
Feedback works.
I will listen. I don't care. I love feedback.
We're gonna give it to you. Don't worry. We're gonna lower your taxes.
Are you gonna listen?
You gotta lower my taxes.
Are you gonna listen?
Yes, sir.
Here's what I find completely disingenuous.
Okay.
You sit here and you say Kamala Harris couldn't answer a question. You mentioned something about she would get up there, they ask her a question, and she would say, well, yesterday was today, and tomorrow could be today, and maybe today. Okay. Yeah. But you have no energy when Donald Trump gets asked a question. He goes on this long, rambling, lunatic ravings about sharks and batteries. When Donald Trump gets asked a question, he goes on this long, maniacal diatribe about who's the golfer? Arnold Palmer's Packers.
Oh,
when Donald Trump gets asked a question, he goes on this long diatribe about Hannibal Lecter, a fictional character. Then he has another emotional support press conference a couple days ago and just lies. Okay, but you have no energy for that. None whatsoever. You believe when he says California doesn't have water to put out the fires. Zeus give you the evidence that they do. And, truth be told, California isn't the only place in the country that has wildfires. Just so you're aware.
Where do you live at? Where do you live at?
Don't worry about this. This irrelevant. Don't worry
about
focused,
Mr. Carlos. Stay focused.
Focus,
Carlos.
Grasshopper. Focus.
Grasshopper. Focus. Come on, bro.
Yeah, focus, Grasshopper. If you were as old as I am, you might actually get that reference.
Be honest, bro.
Carlos,
you're crashing, dude. Listen,
be honest. I'm just asking a stupid question. Like, where part of the country do you live?
Carlos,
tell me where exactly.
Carlos, you won't believe it because you don't accept evidence. All right, so we can say a bunch of words, and to you, it's not evidence. Please, we got to get through this show, and we need the feedback to get to you. All right, because I got to start bringing up. I got to keep moving things along. All right.
I'll talk to you guys later.
No. We're not done, Carlos. I'm not done with you. Sure? Just sit there and just zip it.
The disingenuousness of you, Carlos.
All right.
Out of everything that I mentioned about Donald Trump and the lies that he tells and the stories that he tells when he's asked a question and he doesn't have an answer, like concepts of a plan. These are things that you probably never heard because whatever media digest you're taking in, they're not going to tell it to you. They're not going to say anything bad about Mango Mussolini or Scooby Coo, whatever you want to call him. I don't care. Okay, and so
Scooby Coo.
but
W swerving in the chat. That was a good one.
we can say tighty whitey bulger.
Oh yeah, applaud, applaud, applaud,
But
applaud, applaud.
you had so much energy to discredit Kamala Harris,
Right.
and it fell flat. Kamala Harris had 87 pages of policy on her website.
Who's the
But y'all
president?
say she never
Who's
had
gonna be
policy.
the new
Carlos.
president?
She had 17.
Carlos.
Who's gonna be the new president?
We know we're not we're
Come
not
on,
bulls.
come on, come on.
Was the Carlos? Let me ask you this question.
Carlos.
Yeah.
The election
Carlos,
still-
you're panicking, bro. You're
I'm not
panicking.
bro. I'm asking the questions. Who's gonna be the
was
next
20
president of
Yeah,
these
we
United
told you.
States of America?
And we told you.
Who?
We told you. We know who.
Your co-leader.
Election
Yeah,
stolen.
boy. Yeah,
Was it-
you got that right.
Oh, look. Okay, see, don't
Yeah,
call me boy. Don't
yeah,
call me
boy. You got that right.
I'm done with him, Zeus.
All right, well,
I don't care what he claims to be. He ain't nothing but a racist. Now.
Hey, that's a slur, bro. That's not a racist.
No, I don't take slurs.
You know, like
You don't
you
know.
ever
hold on. Don't let these people work us up. All right.
hold on, bro.
Hold on. I gotta do this. All right. I gotta bring my good friend Takesha up here.
Now it's three against one. It's 3 against 1. Oh, that's so nice.
Now,
Yeah.
Carlos, zip it. Hi, Takesha. Any last words for this demon piece? This demon right
Zeus,
here.
good morning, Zeus. How are you?
I want him to hear the word, though, Carlos. That's why I muted you, because you need to hear some truth. All right, go ahead, Takesha.
I'm sitting here listening to Carlos Zeus, and he is just like other Trump supporters, Zeus. Nothing Donald Trump does is wrong. Nothing he does is out of order. Nothing he does, they got a turnaround excuse for Zeus. I can think of a lot of things that's wrong. He's wrong for wearing that toupee backwards.
Hey, man, W, Takesha. Get him, Takesha.
I mean, he wrong for wearing that blue suit for every occasion.
Amen.
He wrong for just keep putting his face for 4 hours. He's wrong
Amen.
for saying something against LGBTQ and still getting up putting that MAC makeup on.
Amen.
I mean, he wrong for taking all the diapers off the shelves when the elderly need them. I mean, Donald Trump is wrong about a lot of stuff. And any man that can sit up and try to excuse what Donald Trump said about his daughter is piss poor ridiculous. That's just like your friend sitting in your living room saying, "Hey Zeus, if I wasn't your friend, I'd be dating your daughter." You'll get up and slap him. But see, it's okay when Donald Trump said, because he's from New York, and he's a big jokester, and he's been on the comedy stage, and he is so funny, and he really didn't mean it like that. And you can look at it 2-3 ways, Zeus, just to see what it means. And I need proof, but when you give me proof, I'ma still say that's not proof.
Amen. Tell him, Takesha.
Stop it, Carlos.
Stop it, Carlos. W, Takesha, in the chat.
Just stop.
Good morning, by the way. Good to see you again.
Carlos, let's hit the unmute button. I know that's a lot of truth for you on a morning like this. Carlos, you heard what Takesha just said. You hear what she's trying to get you to see? Or are you still spiritually blind?
I can't even talk, bro. You guys mute me. You guys mute me. I can't even say anything now. I mean,
oh, so you don't have anything else left to say? Because she
listen. You guys have your opinion. I have my opinion. I'm not gonna go back and forth on this, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir,
we all know who's gonna be the new president, whether you like it or not.
We know it's no big secret.
Yeah, so there you go, bro.
cares.
So you could sit here and talk and argue all day long. It's not gonna change anything.
Carlos, we don't care.
That part.
That's the part y'all not getting. We don't care that Donald Trump is the next president.
Exactly.
Because y'all finna be assed out. And we gonna be sitting back laughing.
Hey, just wait until the man get in and see what
he
happens.
gonna get in. He gonna get in. He gonna get some Vaseline. He gonna F y'all like he did last time.
It's not appropriate. Is that inappropriate or not?
That was close, but she didn't say.
Oh, it was close.
We're gonna be laughing.
Carlos, but Carlos, you just did it again. Why do you continue to like to get on people that you see
Because
are
you guys
wrong?
are getting on me. You guys are getting on me. Why is it that it's okay for you guys to get on me and I can't get on you guys?
Well, if you had a valid point, we would definitely say, okay, that's a valid point. But what we're struggling with,
a valid point is get some Vaseline and I mean, come on, bro. What is that?
I said Donald Trump is going to get Vaseline and do y'all like he did y'all last time. I said exactly what I said.
Nah, if it's
and
true,
I'm not
Carlos.
gonna change it.
Now, Carlos, time out. Time
All
out
right.
now, Carlos. Now, if it's true, come on. We know that's what he's going to do.
I don't
I
know
mean, if
that.
it's true, we
I don't
can't
know that.
say.
You don't know that. No one
He gonna
knows
treat y'all.
anything.
He gonna treat y'all like a hooker on payday.
Can
I
I
promise
say
you.
Look at
something?
that,
Can I
man.
say
Look at
something?
that.
Can I
Hooker
say
I
on
something?
payday.
promise you, he
Well,
is.
he'll treat me like a hooker. I haven't got paid yet.
Wait,
Like
no,
a hooker
no,
on
listen,
payday.
listen,
That's the
listen.
point.
Let's
You
not
ain't
let it
gonna
go there because you know that's a strong word on this app, this platform. We got to keep it clean, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's keep it clean. I'll blow the whistle on that one. So listen up, Carlos.
Yeah.
You've
Can I ask
gotten
you
a
one
bunch.
last question, Zeus?
Yes, because we got to make serious decisions
Right.
on this show.
And I really want to see if Carlos can give me an honest answer.
All right.
You all follow behind a man
Mm-hmm.
who does nothing but insult people on a daily and call them names on a daily basis. But when it happens to you, or you feel your feelings have been hurt, y'all turn into the biggest snowflakes on the planet. Why is that?
All right. We all are guilty of that stuff, man.
No, we're not.
We all
Who this we
have
is?
called people's name. We all shout, scream at people, yell at people. Everyone is guilty of all
No, no,
this
no, no,
stuff
no,
that
no.
you guys are talking about.
But
We're
you,
human beings. We
so you're
scream
not
and
gonna
yell.
answer
When
the
you get
question.
mad, when
You ain't gonna answer the question, Zeus. You ain't
dude,
gonna
I'm answering your question. I'm
Carlos.
saying is, why are you
No,
pointing
not your
fingers to
monologue.
him when you know that you've done the same exact thing yourself?
I've never
Carlos.
done that to anybody.
Carlos,
Carlos.
you
Come on,
stand.
bro. Come on, bro.
Carlos, you stand up. You stand up for Trump more than you stand
I'm
up to
not
use the
standing up for
bathroom.
Trump. I'm just
Yeah,
keeping it
yeah, you
real. I'm
stand up
keeping
for
it
him more
real.
than you stand up to use the bathroom,
Mm.
and it's really,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sickening.
All right.
It's sickening. No, listen,
It's all good.
Carlos.
It's all good. It's all
Carlos, unfortunately, we got to make tough decisions, sir. And
Right,
unfortunately, you didn't pass.
All right. That's
You're
fine,
on
bro.
your way to hell, bro.
All right,
And
man.
I
It's
got to
all
make
good.
decisions.
It's all good. It's all good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace
You
out,
know
bro. Peace out.
all right. I'm gonna warm it up for you, Carlos.
All right.
Unfortunately, you don't need to say anything else, bro. I got this. Unfortunately, Carlos, you're possessed with the MAGA demon. Poorly educated, someone said. You continue to attack women of color, all right, and those that you perceive to be less important. But at the same time, you defend Donald J. Trump in some of his most indefensible moments in history, especially during the pandemic when, you know, a lot of Americans lost their life. Carlos, Donald Trump is openly advocating to deport you to wherever he thinks you belong, and you're still supporting him. This tells me you're under a strong demonic force, and I think the cure would be purging it from you by sending you straight to hell. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send Carlos straight to hell. Goodbye, Carlos. Goodbye, Carlos.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Goodbye, Carlos.
Zeus, I was gonna say, you know, that's why I found him to be just completely disingenuous. He ignored all of the maniacal ravings of Donald Trump, you know, the fraud father.
Yeah.
And he'll sit there and defend it. He twists him. Oh, come on, bro. We all do that. No, bro, professor, we don't all do that. I don't know if you got a mouse in your pocket, but you don't speak for all men out here.
Thank you.
You don't. You know, am I guilty of misogyny somewhere? I'm sure I am.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize it. Guess what? I never did again.
Right. You get better. You're supposed to not do it again.
And when somebody has called me out on it, guess what? I never did it again. And
There
I've
you
had
go.
people from my life for me calling them out on stuff.
Bingo.
I can't have this.
Bingo.
And if they could just be genuine, you know, I wouldn't be simping behind somebody and then turn into a snowflake when somebody calls me a name if the very person that I idolize is the very person who does nothing but call people names on a daily basis.
That's the part, Carlos, and I hope you're listening to what Swervin is saying. He's someone that's been through it and gotten to the other side. You could do it, but you got to be willing to be honest with yourself. All right, thank you, brother Swervin. All right, Takesha, what do you got to say before we move on?
Real quick.
Oh,
real quick, Zeus. I want to make a quick request. When I drop down and when Keisha drops down, can we get a little bit of drill, baby drill, going to frat, right? Okay, I got to hear it, man. It's been a couple weeks, so when Keisha gets done, and Keisha, I love you. I did something.
Love you too, Swerve.
But and then let me just say thank you to the kingdom for always having me. Thank you all for the gifts. I truly appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You all be well. You all be safe, and doggone it, have fun while you're doing it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. W Swervin in the chat. No lies detected. Carlos is still talking to Keisha. What do you?
Babe, I'm not staying Carlos. I'm going to start calling Carlos a seamstress. because he take up for Trump more than a seamstress take up a pair of pants. So,
Mm.
Carlos, your new name is seamstress. But let me say this, Zeus. With the way that Donald Trump look, he ought to never insult anybody. Everything about the man is fake. There's nothing real about Donald Trump. His hair fake, his tan fake, his incontinence is fake. He's piss poor pitiful. And I'll have no respect for the man at all. But tell a little seamstress to stay in the comments and keep on Blue Jay and chirping like a bird. You have a good day,
Woo!
Zeus.
All right, W,
Thank y'all.
Takesha. No lies detected. See, Carlos, you didn't expose yourself and revealed yourself, and you let the demon show itself on the show, and we've addressed the demon accordingly. All right, and I see that a lot of people up here are going, well, you all have been, mistreating Carlos and 3-on-1 and all of that stuff. It's like I said at the top of the show.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Bingo. All right. Let's see. Now, this is hold on, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I listened to a bunch of bullshit just now. Have
see.
Swerven come up here and ask me those questions. Why don't you have Swerven come in?
See, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, that's somebody who's very, very angry and a demon, demonic. This is spiritual. This is a battle of spiritual warfare. And that's, ma'am, why would you come on my show? You know I don't like profanity. And you came up here and you just spoke like that. That right there, that tells me, Carlos, you see what I'm talking about, Carlos? And I'd hate to do this, but I got to lean into it. Believe it or not, that lady right there brands herself as a Christian. How many of y'all think she's really a Christian? How many of y'all, do y'all think she's a Christian? Yes, no. I'm just trying to see where we at with the audience. Because, see, I don't like people getting on my show and then doing that kind of stuff. Look at that. Look at all these no's. Yeah, Val said no. Look at all these no's. So to that previous guest, seriously, you see that? All these no's, you really got to get a lot of help. You got to get help, all right? Because what you've done is, as far as I'm concerned, unforgivable. All right? Unforgivable, and God is not pleased with you.
I need some Clorox wipes for this box, dude.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought she was going to come up here, honestly, because she never requests, and she was going to actually apologize. But she didn't do that. She went deeper and deeper into sin. And that's just too much for us on a Thursday morning like this with the president, President Carter going through what he's going through right now. We got to keep it on a positive. Right, Shay?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, his funeral is today. What time does that start? Is that
It's starting already.
Is it? Okay, I'll pull it up so I can watch it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wow. Yeah, that was a lot, but
Carlos?
yeah, there's a lot I want to say about your previous person that was up here ranting and raving like a lunatic. But she basically admitted to using the N-word yesterday.
Who did?
Janae. Oh yeah, but she thinks with the A on the end that it's okay.
Oh.
She thinks, but I said with the A. I said with the A. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I called her out because I heard her doing it, and then somebody came in there. Oh, Shay's accusing you of this. She goes, "I'll admit it. I said it." Oh yeah, but let's be real clear.
The Christian
that it's not okay to use the N with the A. It just isn't, along with a hard R.
J Bear.
Either one is not okay.
J Bear, you wouldn't have done such a thing, would you, J Bear? Because that's very unusual for you to be doing that. Because I've heard her say a lot of things, but why would she go that far?
And she thinks, I guess, now that they've won the election, she can just let her freak flag fly. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but she's showing who she is. You know, she insults gay people, calls them, you know, the chocolate bar and stuff like that, that doing actions. I'm not going to repeat it, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, she thinks it's okay to do these things, these derogatory things
Oh
to
no.
people, because it's freedom of speech,
Oh
right?
no. Oh no. Oh no. You know what, Shay? I'll take your word for it. You know what I
Yeah.
got to do, J Bear?
Yeah.
You
No,
know we got to warm it up, Shay.
recording you all the time.
We
and
got to
making
do this.
content.
Special moment in the kingdom right now. We have a MAGA demon that's, now I'm gonna call it. It's a ghetto demon. This is a ghetto demon that's taken over the MAGA demon. Now they're at war with each other inside of this one individual. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna warm up. Let me warm up that lake of fire for her. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, she's not a Christian. Now that Donald Trump has won the election, you're going to start hearing more and more stories like this. His supporters they're feeling emboldened, and they're going to think it's acceptable to be, racist, especially knowing that police are now going to have a little more extra immunity. Congratulations, MAGA, you played yourself. But J Bear, this one's for you. You got to go to hell.
Silence, you MAGA.
You got to go to hell for that.
Yeah, and listen, they had a whole discussion about, well, black people call each other that, or I have a black friend that says, I don't care if you call me the N with the A, da 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 da, and they just had this whole discussion about it. And one of the things that white people need to stop doing is you getting into black people's business. If black people want to call themselves that, they can do that. But I was taught as a child that word should never come out of my mouth.
Never.
Never. And so I would never say it with a soft A. I don't even sing it in the rap lyrics.
Yeah. And if you want to say, well, I heard it in a rap song, stop listening to that doggone rap music then.
Well, yeah.
Because next thing they say a lot of things in those songs. Do you go out and do it? See, stop thinking you're clever. That's how the devil is tricking a lot of you, and you're gonna lift up your eyes straight in hell. Tell them, Shay, they on their way to hell.
And listen, you can do what you want. Nobody's saying you can't be racist and you can't say the N-word and you can do all of that. Nobody's saying that you don't have freedom of speech. But just be real clear that it doesn't come without consequences.
That part.
If you want to sit there, up there, Janae, and say the N-word with the A, or even with the hard R, go ahead.
Did any of her
Nobody cares.
Did she do this by herself, Shay, or were there real Christians around her in the box as well? Were there any Trump supporters around her when she did this, and what was their reaction?
Nobody called her out on it.
Oh my gosh! This is strong demonic work. Strong demonic work.
It's not up there, right? That I said it. I'll admit I said it, right? Nobody said, oh man, Janae, you shouldn't say that though. No, they got into a whole discussion about, the left gets so mad about this and, it's ridiculous and they say it to each other. And I had a friend once and they just had this whole discussion about it. Didn't get on to her about it. Didn't say we shouldn't do that. Doesn't look good. You can't move through life. And listen, we have decorum for reasons to keep people safe.
Yeah.
But if you want to say that's taking away my First Amendment right, and I just want to let my freak flag fly, and I want to just be who I am, then that's fine. But that doesn't mean that we have to be friends with you. That doesn't mean that we have to associate with you. It doesn't mean that I'm going to allow you around my black friends because you're not safe.
Yeah.
I'm not. And
Knock it
that's
off.
my right as well. So you choose the lanes in which you want to be, but don't play victim.
Yeah.
Don't play victim and, they're coming after me and, Shay's. You can say all that you want, honey. But you're the one that has decided to say that language is okay for you to say.
Sick.
As a white presenting woman. Now all of a sudden she's a person of color because she's half Italian, half Mexican. Oh, that's what all her friends. She's not even white. What they gonna say? She's not even white. I'm not either. I still don't use that language.
Thank you.
I'm BIPOC. I would never say that language. So
you see this, Carlos?
Whether she white as a ghost or not, it does not matter.
And if you knew better, you would do better. Even if you were a person of color, you know better. J Bear, knock it off. All right, no one's going to give you a pass for that, and you got to seriously, as far as I'm concerned, take a break from TikTok. All right, take 2 years, 3 years off all social media platforms because look at what it's doing to you. It got you really believing you're out here. You really think you're 50 Cent. She thinks she's 50 Cent. Shay, this is crazy.
I know.
She thinks she's
Like I
50.
said, stay out of black people's business. They want to
Yeah.
do that, they can do that. It's not your business.
Yeah.
And not all black people do that. So, it just, enough is enough.
Yeah.
And stop being ignorant. And yes, like I said, you're welcome.
W
to
Rick
run
in the
around
chat.
world. Rick, you're awesome.
Thank you so much, Rick. Very good.
Run around the world and look like that. Show everybody who you are. That's fine because then we know who to avoid. We know who to
Amen.
move around, and that's okay.
Amen.
Like I said,
Amen.
welcome to do it. Nobody said you can't do it.
Amen.
But if
Amen.
you're going to do it, don't sit here and say, "Oh my God, they're coming after me. They're making it all about race, and they're doing this, and they're attacking
W
me."
Jen in the chat. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we've
That's all I got to say.
cooked her and booked her and shooked her, and hopefully she really figures this out and gets the help, real professional help that she needs. And this is DEI training for her and her friends as well. And I hope it actually sinks in because if it doesn't, you're in a lot of trouble. All right, especially knowing what Donald Trump's about to do to her. Because you said she's Hispanic.
Well, that's
She said-
she claims she's half Mexican.
Yeah.
half
Okay.
Italian.
Yeah. So that's definitely she's eligible for mass deportations, correct? Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. So you got to get this figured out ASAP. I'm just being honest with you. I wouldn't acknowledge that side if I were you out here, Janae, because that's definitely going to get you in a lot of trouble. All right.
Well, she is when it benefits her. That's all.
Yeah, well, listen, Donald Trump, she's Hispanic and she's somewhere in
Doesn't even
the
speak
in the
Spanish
state
nor
of California. Yeah, but if you need to do what you got to do, I understand. I wouldn't worry. All right.
I wanted to real quick. I really didn't want to discuss Janae. She's such a waste of time. But I was curious how you thought about the president of Mexico, her clapback to Donald Trump.
Yeah. I loved it. She gave him a different perspective in terms of how to look at the map, right? Mexico, America.
American Mexican. I think we need to do that because this used to be Mexico. I live in Texas.
Yeah.
So we can just go back to calling Texas and Arizona, New Mexico, California, and Utah and Colorado and all those places. Let's go back to calling it Mexico.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to explain to MAGA. Do you know the history? Do you understand what's happening? Or so Carlos.
Yeah. Look up 1848, the Treaty of 1848.
Carlos, please do it. All right, Carlos, it'll blow your mind, all right? Because you love evidence. Wait till you check that out, all right? All right, well, listen,
All
Shay.
right, my friend.
Thank you.
Everybody have a wonderful day in the kingdom. Love you
Ladies
guys.
and gentlemen, W. Shay in the chat, no lies detected. Yeah. I mean, every now and then I end up having to address matters of the kingdom, and that was one of those moments. I try not to do that as much as I can. I like to just stick to the politicians and politics. But when you get situations like that, yeah, we have to address it, all right, unfortunately. All right, let's see. Oh, my gosh, I do have to wrap things up and get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's see. Who do we have next? Oh, my gosh, look at the time. So many beautiful people I need to talk with. Oh, my gosh. Yes, Cece, how are you doing? Going once? Cece, are you there? Oh, there you go. Yes.
Don't you be counting going once, going twice.
Well, the thing wasn't patching through. Sometimes people put a request in and then they leave, and then we end up, sitting for a while. But I'm glad that you're here. No, you're welcome.
Bringing me up.
No
I'm
problem.
pissed.
Why are you upset?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, I want to say that it's been a beautiful ceremony for Carter. It's been wonderful.
Oh my.
And what's funny is you got Ding Dong who's sitting in the front seat with his robot, and
Oh, really?
not one person other than Obama shook his hand or said anything to him. I don't even know if Obama did, but the only reason Obama is talking to him is because he's sitting next to him.
Right.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's been a beautiful ceremony.
It's so sad, but it makes sense that Obama
Such a
has to
good
be the
man.
bigger person. Yeah.
Such a good man.
Nobody
Number two,
loves Trump other than those of you who are in his
and Trump
cult.
and Trump himself.
Oh, Biden
Um,
is speaking now, Swervin said.
yes, he is. Yes, he
Wow.
is. It's been wonderful.
Wow.
And my heart aches for California. I'm so sorry for what's going on in California. They need lots and lots of prayers. But Zeus, I want to talk about these old white men.
Mm.
Who was it? Was it Pete?
Which
And
one?
then you have Carlos, who
Uh-huh.
is Mexican. Is he
I don't know.
Latino? Is he
I don't know what part of the Latin America he's originating from, but yes, he didn't disclose that.
um let me say this to you old white men. And I'm white. You know that. You know I'm white. I'm
Right?
sick of you. I am sick to death of you. And the only reason, see how heated I get?
Yeah.
The only reason they voted for that moron is because he's white. They did not want a woman, especially a woman of color. And I've said
Exactly.
it over and over. And that lunk, he only won by what? 1%? 1%.
That
And
part.
that's because you lazy Democrats sit on your lazy behinds because you thought that we had it in the bag.
Wow.
I did too. I did too. But you know what? This woman had what? 4 weeks? Was it 4 weeks to prepare for this?
107
She had-
days.
it was what, 4 weeks before the DNC took place, correct?
Got it. Yes.
So she had 4 weeks to prepare for that. The rest was out there, her trying to plead and let us know how important it was to not vote for him.
Amen.
The danger he's bringing. But you know what?
What's
Let him
that?
bring it. Let him bring on the danger. Bring
Yeah.
it on. Guess what he's talking about now, Zeus?
What is that?
The first day he is going to Washington and he's going to hunt down immigrants.
Woo!
That's what he said he's going to do. DC.
Carlos.
Now, what surrounds DC? You got Virginia, you've got Maryland, and you have Delaware. All military related. Okay? How many of us travel to DC to work? You have all kinds in all colors that are working in DC.
Amen.
And that's the first thing you're going to do is go in there and raid offices? What kind of sickness do we have?
Amen.
What have you done?
Think about
what
that.
have you people done?
These are
Zeus?
some evil
Zeus?
people, Cece. They know they're in trouble.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Let's pick a race here. Who owned slaves?
You know.
I want to hear it. I want you to tell me. I'm
You
going
know
somewhere.
those of European descent, perhaps.
The white man. I'll say it. The white man. Who's the one who decided they're going to free him? The white man. Who are the ones that controlled women and said, oh, no, you can't vote? The white man. Who decided that, oh, you white women can vote now. You women of color can vote now. Who was that? The white man.
Oh.
Who is the one that says, oh, no, you know, our 2A is more important than a woman's body?
Hey.
Who was that? The white man.
I was going to say that.
The white man. I look around and see this Congress and this Senate, and the whiteness makes me sick. I'm sorry. It makes me sick. People, you got to start doing something about it. And let me say this also to the black man.
Go for it.
Shame on you for fighting for that white cracker.
Amen. Get him, Cece.
And let me say this to you Latinos. You better have your damn papers ready. Make me sick. Carlos, have your papers ready. Pete, go back in your hole in the rock in the mountain you live in, you rotten animal.
Woo! Woo-wee, W.
Look at it with him, Zeus. Like, and Janae. Yo, Zeus, you know how I feel about that piece of. And let me say this. She claims that she bought a sports car.
Really?
And it cost her $70 to fill it up.
Oh, wow.
First of all, Janae. First of all, Janae, you can't get your fat arse in there.
WCC.
You know.
Wow, Cece, you're spilling the tea. Seriously,
Zeus, she's crazy.
I
You were
agree.
on- you heard her yesterday, Zeus, and that Dane. He's drinking too much of that. What is that juice over there in Hawaii they drink? He's
I
losing.
have no clue.
Well, there's a juice they drink. He's losing his
Is
marbles.
it MAGA juice or something? I don't know what they do.
I don't
Seriously,
know. I don't know. It's not MD 2020. Do you remember them days?
Oh,
Them
I
days?
remember that. I remember the MD. It's worse than that. It's way worse than that. But you know, that's what they like. If they like it, you know what? Let them have it. You know, to God, you know, may God have mercy on their souls. Seriously.
Look, and when she brings in God, that's blasphemy. She ought to be ashamed of herself.
Bingo.
You're an animal. You're an animal, Janae.
Ooh.
You're a sick animal, and you need help. Because you're going downhill. Even Stacy doesn't even come in your lives anymore, you simpleton.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could go on.
Tell
and
them.
on and on.
Tell
I
them.
could go on, but I know you have things to do, places to go, and
I
people
do.
to see.
I do.
And you are the most handsome.
Thank you, Cece. Thank
and
you
the
so.
most honest.
Thank you, Cece. I appreciate
and the
that.
most humble. And there's one I'd like to add to it.
What's
You're
that?
honorable. You're honorable.
Thank you so much, Cece. I
Your
really do.
mother-
WCC in the chat.
Your mom and dad raised a good man.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope so. You know, you never know.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know. Okay, you have a good day.
All
And
right.
thank you for allowing me to vent.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I understand it's been tough to get in the box, but you know, I try to, you know, get through as many people as I can and still do what I do. I appreciate you waiting. All right. Seriously.
Well, I just don't want to because there's so much sometimes I want to say.
Yeah.
And I, I'm gonna have to start writing it down, I guess, because some people in your box get long-winded.
I get
So
it. And you know, I
just
know
gotta
that
be
too. I know
Yeah, I
that
just
too.
got-
All right. Fair enough. But all
Yep.
right. Ladies and gentlemen,
Love you, buddy.
WCC in the chat. Seriously.
You have a good one. Love you.
All right, love you too. No lies detected. All right, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. We've reached that moment. I do have to depart early, all right, because I have other affairs to tend to. Oh, don't boo me. Don't boo me. Listen. Don't boo Zeus. You can't say that. I gotta go. All right, but listen, in all seriousness, this has been a great show. Once again, I appreciate all of you for tuning in this morning, all right? I want to give you all a round of applause for helping to keep this show exciting, engaging, and entertaining. All right? Seriously, without you, this wouldn't be possible. But I also understand there's some Zeus haters out there, and they know exactly who they are. They don't need to say it anymore. I know it. I feel that it's the energy. You get upset because I get out here, and not just me, but all of my friends that help join me and make this, you know, what it is. And we push back on all of the misinformation and disinformation, all right? And that's what we got to do to save this country. That's what a real patriot would do. But instead of thanking us because we're stopping you and we're trying to slow it down for, you know, ultimately the 1929 style depression that your cult leader is going to bring about, you turn around and attack. Like Carlos did, right? Carlos, you had a lot of energy for Karen Bass, but when Donald Trump tells you to inject yourself with some disinfectant, maybe take some ivermectin, that rhymes. You turn around and say, oh, well, listen, you got to understand, Zeus, Donald Trump was going through some things, but then you'll turn around and attack Karen Bass. These are what I call Zeus haters, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them our final round of booze and shame. We don't like that.
Silence! Go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. I'll be back tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. What a great show! Thank you, everyone. We made it. We survived. Tiny Tank Top Jim Tom, knock it off. Come on, man. You already know what I do. You've been steamrolled. You've been cooked. Oops. You know what it is. No lies detected. Sorry I didn't get to everyone in the box, but listen, come back tomorrow. I think I'll be able to do it tomorrow. I think I'll have a little more time to try to get through more people. But sometimes those conversations, they go a little longer than I expect, right? Right, Q-Dog? Thank you, brother. Hey, Magademon, what are you doing here? Didn't I cast you and send you to the bottom of the lake of fire? Seriously, get help. W Black, honey. Gotta connect those dots. Little Miss, thank you. Yes, thank you. Oh, my man, Hampton. Thank you. Let's go. Hey. Y'all better show Gavin Newsom some real respect out here and stop demonizing him. Hey, Magademon, zip it. You know I don't even like you. Right, Reggie? Angus, relax. Reggie. Let's go, let's go. Hey. What I like to see, ladies. Yeah, I gotta go watch it, Tara. I gotta go watch it, all right? Because it seems very powerful. It's very powerful. I know Biden knows how to do it, all right? Let's go! Hey, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. No lies detected. And do not believe the lies that they tell. Lisa, thank you, Lisa, for the subscription. I appreciate it. Look at that. Look at all of the subscriptions. Wow. We're over 150. Tara. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you know what we got to do, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to take out so much money.
Here goes.
W,
Lisa. Let's
go. We're going to lower your taxes to insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say,
where you at, Craig?
The late, great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack. Drill, there's a black frack. Hey! You know she's going to bang. You know she's going to bang King. Right? Up her there, she works against all the stuff. Hey! All the stuff. And then all the time, everybody went to Africa. When she was dead and killed her in the past. She said, I like fracking very much. They always go back to get the wrong. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical. She can't help it. Woo! Hey, and we will frack, and drill, baby, drill. Hey, let's go. We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower taxes. Let's go. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack. Hey. You know what we do, ladies and gentlemen? We're gonna drill, baby, drill. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter. Insane asylums. Uh-oh. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Okay, they say, why would he mention Hannibal Lecter?
They're gonna lower your taxes.
Oh.
Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Drill, drill.
Hey, you gotta be able to hit it like that. Hannibal Lecter. Hey, lower your taxes. Deep insane asylum. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna keep drilling. Hey, time. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Hey, drill, baby, drill. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Take care and stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel.